Today I want to share with you one absolutely class lighting trick that will give your film the film look straight away simply by moving a light around. Welcome to the Film Look. The music in this episode is from Artlist. For less than $200 you get unlimited downloads to their entire music library, perfect for short films, docs and YouTube tutorials just like this one. And if you click the link below, you get 2 months extra when you sign up. Using the link also supports this channel. We've shot a lot of sit-down interviews for client jobs in the past. The basic lighting setup looks like this. Sit them down with some distance from the background so you can get it nice and blurry. Place in a key light to brighten up their face. Place in a fill light on the other side to reduce the shadows. While we're at it, we'll pop in a hair light to make them pop off the background. And a final background bounce light to brighten up the background. This looks great for bright, positive messages in videos from a business point of view, but it doesn't really look like a film. So take all of your video production lighting knowledge and throw it out the window. We're going to start from scratch and we're going to make it look more like an actual movie. Before we start changing the lighting, we will bring in some set dressings, props, and Rob is going to dress as Bobby Carrot, a criminal accountant from the Victorian era. Right, let's set up the lights again. Sit your subject down with some distance from the background, frame up your shot, and place in a key light to brighten up their face. But the key light is the first thing we're going to change. It feels natural to place the light so it points in the same direction that the camera is pointing. This means the light will never end up in the shot. This is a habit grown from videography shoots, but it doesn't look very film-like. Instead of lighting the broad side, the side where you see most of their face, we're going to move the light 180 degrees around the subject and light up the short side. So instead of the light sitting at the 8 o'clock position to the subject, we will move it to the 2 o'clock position. This small lighting change transforms the shot into something a lot more dark and sophisticated. It's called short side lighting because the key light is pointing to the short side of the subject. This is the side where you see less of the face. As well as getting something which looks instantly more film-like, you also get the benefit of very little light hitting the background because the key light is facing in the opposite direction. So the background light stays nice and dark and you can customize it the way you like. Now you know about short side lighting, you'll notice pretty much every film or TV drama will use this type of lighting. I've just spoiled telly for you. You can achieve short side lighting with window light as well. The window doesn't have to be in frame, you can always frame it out, but you still achieve something with great contrast and shadows. Let's carry on with the setup. So they are framed up, lit on the short side this time, and now we can place in a fill light to reduce those shadows. Except we aren't going to do that. If you asked Roger Deakins about fill light, he'd probably say, "Fill who?" Instead, we are going to embrace these deep shadows in the shot. Filling in those shadows can spoil the film look and make it look more like a rom-com. If you need to create more shadow, you can add some negative fill by placing something like a blackout curtain or something cheaper like a 5-in-1 reflector on the subject's broadside. We have an episode about all the uses of blackout curtains right here if you want to know more. And if you want to add more light to the broadside of the subject, you can always position the light down the clock. So instead of 1 or 2 o'clock, put it at 3 or 4 o'clock. This will let more light cast on their broadside, but will still produce a dramatic, contrasty shot without having to resort to fill lighting. Lastly, we are going to add an edge light in order to bring the shape of the subject back into the shot and give them some contrast from the background. Basically, we want to create an outline using light. Otherwise, the back of the head will meld into the background because they're both very dark. Alternatively, you can add light to the background, so it's brighter than the back of their head, and then you can forget about the hair light. We are just looking to retain the shape of the subject. So you might be wondering right now that we have lights technically in front of the lens, are we not going to get the light in the shot? Well, this is where we can actually use some movie magic. Start off with a practical light, like say a desk lamp, to act as a physical light source which is in the shot. Then you can add in a sneaky key light out of frame and boost up the lamp, also known as motivating the light. This will work just as long as the color temperature and the quality of light is the same as the practical. We have an episode about DIY diffusion right here. On wider shots, the production lights can sit further back out of frame. It's wider, so we don't need to worry about perfect detail on faces because we are shooting the bigger picture. In close-ups, you can bring them closer and get perfect exposure on the subject's face. Short side lighting is something I wish my university taught me back in the day. Sadly, I had to learn this on my own. Now, when you watch a film or TV show, look out for how much they use short side lighting. It really does give your film and their film the film look. Subscribe for more episodes like this, and remember to achieve it one shot at a time.